So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. My name is Andries Roux, and I am the Product Director for LS1 at LS Retail. I'm joined here today by my colleague Anna Christine from Product Marketing. Thank you all for joining today's webinar to hear more about LS1, what we believe is the best replacement for Microsoft RMS solution. Before we start, maybe just a few practical issues regarding this webinar. This webinar will be roughly 45 minutes to the hour. You are muted during the webinar. If you want, please ask questions by typing them into the questions window that you can find in the control panel of the GoToWebinar session. Time permitting, we will also have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, and we will do our best to answer all your questions. If we do not finish answering your questions, we'll do so in writing and send them directly to you and the rest of the participants. Just for your information, this webinar is also recorded, and you will receive a link to the session after this webinar has been finished. Okay, so with that, let us begin. So, a short introduction about LS Retail. Our headquarters is based in Iceland, and we started back in 1990. LS Retail today is a result of some mergers and acquisitions, and today we are 25 years stronger. Our partners are worldwide, and our business is truly global. LS Retail has a phenomenal balance sheet, and with 50% revenue growth for the last decade. In LS Retail, we don't just sell LS1, which is what we're going to talk about today, but we also have a big brother product, so to speak, called LS Nav solution, and that entitles us the prestige badge of being the largest Microsoft ISV on the Microsoft Dynamics stack. LS Retail was voted Global ISV of the Year in 2015. We're also part of the exclusive Microsoft Inner Circle for the last 10 years, which is also given to selected and distinguished partners. We work exclusively through our partner network, and we support our partners 100%. It's simple. If you make money, we make money. LS Retail also has a consultancy arm that we use to support our partners in bigger projects. And for example, at the moment, we have a project with the American and Armed Force Exchange Services called AFIS, with over 3,000 sites in more than 30 countries. So on these projects, we feel you need a bit of help from LS Retail. We are there to support you with our consultancy. So let's talk a little bit about the people. We are, as I said, a global organization. We divide the globe up in 4 regions, and above you'll see all our regional directors. And then we have 5 product groups. We have LS Express, LS Nav, LS First, LS Omni, and then what we're going to talk about today, LS1, and that's me down at the bottom right corner. So, sit back and enjoy. And let me take you through the agenda, what we will talk about today. First, we'll talk about RMS, that will be no more. We'll give you an overview of LS1. We'll talk about customizations and integrations into our platform. We'll talk about RMS, the promotion that we have, and the tools. We'll also talk about, if you're interested, how to become a partner, and we'll talk a little bit about our roadmap ahead and the exciting things we can look forward to. So, as we know, RMS has been discontinued by Microsoft in July 2016 this year. I'm not going to say a lot about that, but I think most people in this audience know all about this. And we will have extended support, or there will be rather, extended support until 2021 for those RMS customers on a maintenance plan. Let's start by giving you a bit of a solution overview of LS1. We're a Microsoft product, so we build on top of the Microsoft .NET stack and Microsoft SQL Server. Our offering, our LS1 offering, consists of LS1 POS, point of sales, for the cashier part, and LS1 Site Manager, which is our back office solution. And we'll talk mostly about these two items today. We support two markets, two vertical segments, and the first is retail and the other is hospitality. And the great thing about LS1 is that you can have both of these solutions bundled into the same point of sale. So you don't have to run two different solutions to cater for those. We also offer, in terms of deployment, three types of SKUs. The first is what we call a standard, so LS1 Standard. LS1 Standard is basically an on-prem solution-based solution with a headquarters, store, and terminal setup, so you can have endless stores connected to a headquarters solution. We also have the LS1 Express, which is a subscription model that we created for our partners. So you as a partner could host the LS1 solution in terms of the data and the services. I want to point out this is it's not a web solution, but you host the services for the customer. So your customers can then pay through a subscription model to you. And then lastly, we have a slimmed down version of our LS1 product, which is what we call LS1 in a box, which is a replacement to ECRs or cash registers. So in this solution, there is no multi-store connection. It's just single store, single point of sale. And this solution, we typically work with warehouse and distributors that wants to bundle hardware and software together and ship in bulk. So now I would like to introduce you to my colleague Anna, who will take you through some of the exciting features in LS1. Before we start, I would like to say that it's impossible to go through everything in LS1. That will take a whole day. But we're going to highlight some of the main features in our product. And if you're interested, please reach out to us and we can tell you a lot more on the things that we've missed. So, are you ready?
Thank you, Andres. So, what you see here is LS1's back office system. The back office system is called the Site Manager. In the Site Manager, you would manage everything connected to your business. Amongst others, you set up and maintain your items, inventory, customers, your users, and you also get a good overview of all your sales transactions. In this latest release, the Site Manager has gone through the biggest user experience change and usability improvements since it first was released. So the main building block of any retail system are the items that are to be sold. And in LS1, we have a 4-level hierarchy. And this 4-level hierarchy we can use for adding reporting functionality. And we can add discounts to any of the levels of this hierarchy to add discounts to multiple items at the same time. That is all items in that section of the hierarchy. And LS1 offers you a complex discount and price setup, which includes promotions, discount offers, multi-buy and mix and match offers. And mix and match offers can be buy a sandwich and a drink for a deal price, or buy one get one free, and offers like that. And all these offers can be valid in defined periods, so that you can create, for an example, happy hour deals. And in addition to this 4-level hierarchy, we have item variants. So each item can be divided into dimensions, or each item can have dimensions, such as color, size, and style. And we can create multiple dimensions. They are created and named by the user. Each dimension can have multiple attributes. For an example, the dimension color could have the attributes black, red, or blue. And LS1 is actually one of very few retail systems which supports unlimited amount of dimensions and attributes. In LS1, you can import items and the variants from an Excel sheet. And to ease the management of a long list of items, LS1 offers you bulk editing functionality. And this allows you to edit multiple items and variant items at the same time, which significantly improves your efficiency in your item management. LS1 manages all inventory centrally. So you could perform your inventory inventory actions anywhere you like in your store hierarchy. And one of the things you do when managing your inventory is to do purchase orders. And to simplify the process of ordering, LS1 has a replenishment setting for each item. And this replenishment setting contains a minimum stock level and reorder point. So if you go below this point, your stock will be automatically added to your purchase orders. And it also contains a set maximum level. So when the purchase orders are created, you would get suggested quantity of ordering up to this level. And you can work with these settings in a worksheet and edit that before you generate all the purchase orders. Purchase orders can also be generated from a filter of items. They can be generated from old purchase orders, so you won't have to redo them all again if you're always ordering the same items. And these worksheets, as I told you before. When a purchase order is done, it can either be posted directly and received, or you can create goods receiving documents when the stock arrives at the store. LS1 also allows you to change inventory with inventory adjustments and stock counting. So if something breaks at your store, gets stolen, or maybe is out of date, inventory adjustment can be done to correct the item inventory level. And these adjustments can be both positive or negative. Stock counting journals can either be created and maintained directly in LS1, or you could import them from Excel or CSV files, which enables your employees to count using your favorite tool for stock take. And you don't need to have Site Manager running on every device, and that could cut your site manager licensing costs. In a multi-store setup, and one location runs out of stock, it can request stock from another location. And then the stock is sent between those two locations. And when the stock is in transit, so it's being moved from one location to the other, it will get the status of being in transit, and you can view all the stock transactions from the site manager. So now you can see the LS1 POS for the first time. And here we are creating a customer order. And when a customer order is created, we can add some information about the order, such as the source of the order. It could be coming in from an e-shop or a walk-in customer, where it should be delivered. That is, if the customer will come and pick it up, or if it should be delivered to his house, and so on. And of course, information about the customer placing the order. The customer might have to pay a minimum deposit when he places this order. And when the order is placed, the staff in the store can print picking lists to help them prepare the order for the customer. When an order gets marked as, when an item has been ordered, it gets marked as reserved. And in the site manager, you can view the stock reservation journals. So you can see which stock is reserved. Customer orders can also be imported from external e-commerce sources, such as Shopify and Amazon. The whole infrastructure of a store is set up in our site manager. And in LS1, you can run anything from a single store, single terminal business, up to a multi-store, multinational business with a connection to any ERP system or of your choice, such as SAP, Oracle, or Sage. And we currently have projects connecting over 1,000 POSs in 8 different countries. So, other than being just a fully fledged retail system, LS1 offers hospitality functionality, which enables restaurants to have seated dining, casual dining, or over-the-counter service. And all this is out-of-the-box LS1. And you can, as Andres told you before, you can run both a restaurant with or without the table service and a retail store in the same site and using only one system. This hospitality functionality includes, for an example, table management. And on the slide here, you can see an overview of all the tables in one section of a restaurant. And the colors of the table buttons resembles different statuses of the table. For an example, the light green, where the guests have been seated, but they haven't placed their order. We have the darker green are available tables. The red one, there you have printed all the items that have been ordered. Everything is printed in the kitchen so far. And on the blue tables, another staff member has edited them, and it is locked by that staff member. They can also be open. These tables can be open on another POS. The hospitality functionality includes table management, which we just talked about, split bill, table transfers. We can do kitchen printing to different stations, such as drinks being printed at the bar station, the steaks at the grill station, and so on. You can use menu types to decide on which items should be ordered when or printed in the kitchen when. So the starters are printed first, and then you send later on the main courses to the kitchen to be prepared. You can do item modifiers to select toppings to a pizza, and upselling to suggest additional sales to different meals or deals. So the front end of LS1, the LS1 POS, it is a feature-rich point-of-sale application. And this is where you manage all your sales transactions. We can also create customers on the fly at the POS. They will be created centrally. We can do loyalty cards and gift cards and store credits, credit memos. And all this is stored centrally and can therefore be used in another store of the same business. But as you can see on these slides, the LS1 POS can be designed to fit your brand and to speed up the service even more and make the cashier's job easier. The layout can be designed to suit your business, where the most commonly used operations can be placed easily accessible. And the graphical layout of the POS is created in the site manager and can be distributed to all the POSs. And we can do different POS layouts for different stores, different terminals, and even different users can have different layout of the POS.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Wow, lots of nice stuff there. And I think maybe perhaps we should also mention we actually had our release of LS1 16.1 yesterday, so a lot of these features are perhaps new, and they're all available there to be downloaded. So maybe let's just recap, because we could spend quite a bit of time here going through all the screens, and we don't necessarily want to waste all your time with that. But let me just sort of highlight some of the features, just sort of on a summary level. On a general basis, we have a dashboard alert. So dashboards is where you have information about items being sold, users being set up, and it's an information tile setup. Then we have the so-called Spotlight search. Spotlight search is what you would be familiar with your Apple products, where you can search your system-wide from a central location. So anywhere in the site manager, you have our search feature available, and it can search customers, orders, journals, items, and it will show you all of these items available. So you don't have to go to each and every single item or each and every single group, so to speak, to do a search. We also have an app exchange, which is something I will talk about a little bit later. Bulk editing, Anna mentioned, and then extensive reporting. We can spend quite a bit of time on the reporting, but I can say that we support quite a number of out-of-the-box reports, and reporting can be customized and set up to your customer's need. Items we spend a bit of time on: special groups, departments, stores, level hierarchy. We got discounts and promotions, multi-buy, buy 50 and get 5% off, for example. Mix and match, buy item A and item B and get C for free. Those kind of configurations and complex validation periods, times of day, periods of months, etc. On sales, and one of the things that we actually didn't even mention is our receipt designer. We've got a sophisticated receipt designer that can give you a very detailed design of receipt and It's extremely flexible. Naturally, we support suspension statements, tender declarations, credit memos, and gift cards. So on the inventory, purchase order, which is something Anna mentioned, and the posting thereof, goods receive. So it's posting both orders and goods receive. Stock counting. Anna mentioned Excel. A lot of our customers like this feature a lot, so they don't have to buy extra licenses. So you just import, you just work in Excel, and you have a person in a central location that can import all the items for you into your single stock taking solution. Adjustment of stock, transit, and counting. Loyalty on customers, maybe perhaps we can mention that briefly. So we have sophisticated loyalty features. We can gather loyalty points and you can use them in different ways. Sites and setup, this is where we're really strong. Remember, LS1 is basically a product in the making of 25 years. So the setup of basically supporting endless amounts of stores in a headquarter level is something that we are quite strong in, and our system is extremely robust in the way that we can connect to that and the way that data can be replicated between different stores and levels of stores. And then lastly, which is maybe a bit of an additional bonus, is our ability to support hospitality within the same solution. And quite a lot of rich features we have in our out-of-the-box hospitality. So, moving on, what about customizations? Well, there's a lot of partners, I'm sure, that's on this call that have developed extensive applications for the RMS platform, and we support that too within our LS1. Well, we support the ability, rather, to do customizations. Maybe, Anna, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, let's start at the beginning. So when a software vendor wants to become an LS1 partner and sell and support LS1, they will first be required to do an online training. And this online training consists of the first part, functionality training, where you learn how LS1 works, how to set it up and maintain it. And the second part is the development training, and that's when you get access to our development pack. LS1 is written in .NET C# code, and any programmer should be able to take this development pack and create customizations for LS1. And the development pack contains all the open source code of LS1, which is actually, a lot of it is open. And you can create or remove, if you want, plugins from the site manager. So you can create a whole new plugin with your functionality. You can add to the data structure your own data tables and fields. You can, for the POS, we have triggers that are triggered during the transaction, for an example, where you can add your code to these triggers, and they will be run when the POS gets to this point. You can customize the services, and the services are, for an example, the EFT service, and that's where you would put code to connect to your EFT payment providers. You could also create a blank operation, which is a new operation which can be run on a button in the POS. And then you would just go to the blank operation service and add your code to this place in the development pack, create a new install, and you would have this operation to add to your button. To make this all easier for you, we have made the LS1 Development Hub available online. And here you can get code examples and how-to guides for example, how to implement the blank operation I was showing you. And this is an example of how to do that. And as I'm talking about the help now, I want to tell you that LS1 has online help, both procedural and context-based help. And it's available from anywhere within the site manager just by pressing F1. We can also have it locally. So if you don't have an online connection, the site manager can be set to have a local help.
Okay, thank you, Anna. So also on this line, we have one of our diamond partners, K3, and just to give you an idea what they've done with a application integration into our LS1, just want to give you a scenario that they've done just to perhaps initiate some thought around the flexibility of our solution. What you see here is a customization they have done for Shopify. So this is K3's version and skin in the Shopify environment. What will happen in this particular case is the customer would do the purchase within the environment, within the e-commerce environment. Naturally, we don't support out of the box all the Shopify fields, and so what K3 had to do was to extend the item card within LS1. So they created some additional fields to accommodate Shopify, and they connected the two servers together with our data director. Our data director is also our very robust data replication mechanism that schedules jobs. So data was synchronized between these two applications, and you can set up that synchronization to accommodate your needs. Then the cashier on the front end side from our POS solution, these items would just appear, which is pushed directly from the Shopify solution and appear as open in terms of status within LS1, and the cashier then can take certain actions, for example, to pick and put these items aside, to deliver them, and a certain workflow is created around them. This seems to be very popular, and I believe that this is a very strong and robust implementation. Now, there's a lot of our partners that created applications over the years, and one thing that we realized was that these partners, they didn't want to recreate the wheel, and nobody does. So what we've done is, in the latest version of LS1, we created our so-called App Exchange. An App Exchange is a marketplace for our partners to discover applications. And it's important that we also say that we don't monetize this, so we don't charge for the transactions between our partners. We basically just want to create a facility for our partners to exchange LS1 applications. So how do you access that? Well, you would do that by logging into our site manager. Once in the site manager, you would navigate up on the toolbar menu to the App Exchange button. You would select that. A list of applications will appear, and these are some of our beta customers. This particular application that I would select then has some information regarding pricing, versions, information concerning support and fact sheets, and then some screenshots. This particular application is what we call LS1 forecourt POS. So it is for fuel stations, or forecourt as we call it. So we have out-of-the-box integration to certain forecourt controllers. So the cashier can start and stop fuel pumps, can manage pricing, and so forth. And this application you can buy as an extra. So perhaps let's quickly talk about why do partners like our solution. There's quite a few reasons, but maybe these are the highlights. We have a rich feature set in both retail and hospitality, as you saw, and there's a lot more than what we demoed. It's very easy to customize both the POS and the back office solution, our site manager. A very strong and reliable integration into ERP. There's a lot of partners that integrate us to ERP solutions that are not traditional NAV as what we have in-house. And I mentioned those: SAP, Oracle, Sage. We also integrate into standard nav. This is maintained and done by our partners. Then we support multi-store, multi-hierarchies. And something we haven't even talked about is our support for multi-languages. There are 8 languages out of the box that is bundled with LS1. So, and our customers can easily create extra language layers. We have a tool that you can export all the language phrases, and that can be translated and imported back into the solution for a complete translation of the application, both back-end and front-end. We have partners that have done localizations and fiscalizations. These are, I would imagine, mostly in the European and Asian countries, where the governments require certain fiscalization, and our partners can, through our development pack that Anna has shown you, create these features that are required. And then lastly, but definitely not least, is that we have such a global partner base. And we have a global brand. So there's a strong brand recognition for LS1 and LS Retail as a company. So where do we sign up and what do we do from here? Well, if you're interested in LS1, you can start by doing the following. You request a demo license. Before you get the demo license, you would need to complete a NDA, which is something that we can send you, and you can sign it, and we can send you the demo license, and that will work for 4 weeks, so you can try out the product yourself. If you're happy with the product, you can sign up by contacting our partner operations, or hyphenated, or abbreviated rather, POPs at lsretail.com, and there's a small evaluation there. Then we have what we call our partner portal, which is at partner.lsretail.com. And on this partner portal, you'll find anything and everything, including training material, certification material, software, and as a partner to support and to log your issues. There's lots of information about pricing and marketing material, so we help you with marketing also. And then because this is very much sort of a RMS-focused webinar, we also have a promotion running at the moment. And this promotion is 100% discount on license fee plus a 2-year maintenance fee for those customers that have an RMS license with a maintenance plan. And we also provide a 65% discount on license fee plus 2-year maintenance fee for RMS licenses, customers with licenses without the maintenance plan. And then the last but not the least, which I think is a very exciting tool, is in collaboration with K3, we have developed the RMS data migration tool. So what we will do is we can take an RMS database, and through a simple wizard, this database is converted into an LS1 database, and you can have a customer up and running in 30 minutes. I think that's an extremely powerful feature and something we're quite proud about. Information about this RMS data migration tool is also available in our app exchange, so it can be downloaded as an app and it's free of charge, and can also be found on our partner portal. Actually, all our software is available on the partner portal. The app exchange is just information where to find it. Right, so maybe before we conclude, just a bit more information about our roadmap. Well, the big thing lying ahead for us is Omni. Omni is our mobile support. In Alice Retail, we have a division called Omni, and they create all our mobile applications. We actually currently have mobile applications developed for our Big Brother solution, Alice Nav, and those are mobile POS, mobile loyalty, and mobile inventory, and we will connect these applications to our Alice One. So you would be able to run mobile POS from an Android or iOS device connected to Alice One. Very exciting features. E-commerce, there's also integration into Magento and Knob server. And as I mentioned, our K3 partner has also integration into Shopify. Then because this is a request that we get quite often, is even further enhancement into our ERP integration. We want to extend our integration pack so that customers can quickly integrate into these solutions with a short developing cycle. And lastly, but not least, is integration into Power BI. So we have a team in Alice Retail focusing on Power BI, and what we will do here is create out-of-the-box data packs that you could download, and that will run within our site manager, built on top of the Alice One data model. So that's just, in a nutshell, what we will do next. It's just a brief overview of some of the customers that we have, and there are many more. This is just some highlights. So if you missed everything and you want to start somewhere, then please write to me directly. My name is, as I said, Andries, and this is my email address. And I could just drop me a line, and I will put the wheels in motion, get you all the material that you need, and we can start the discussion around Alice One, and hopefully you becoming our next partner. So we might have a little bit of time left for some questions. Let's see. So, Anna, we've got a few questions coming in, and we will quickly run through some of these. So, the question we got is, which small business accounting packages does Alice One integrate with, for example, QuickBooks?
We can connect to any ERP system, but it is not out of the box integrated. But our partners, as Andries told us, create and maintain the connections to the accounting systems of their choice.
Okay, so, and out of the box, of course, we have this RMS. So we basically have infrastructure that you as a partner can utilize to extend to connect to, for example, QuickBooks, should you know the mapping of the fields. So I guess the short answer is there's a lot of work that we've done in this field, and it's a matter of field mappings and using some of the plugins that we've developed so far. But it is always on the partner to implement. Another question by George is, which EMV tokenization merchant providers are integrated with Alice One in the US? So if I understand correct, this is payment providers, chip and pin. Out of the box, we have Verifone, and we also have a department that has been started up, because in the past we actually left this to our partners to implement, but we have a department that started up called EFT providers. which will focus on integrating the main providers globally. But as I said, Verifone is out of the box. Another question, what mechanism is used to manage store to HQ data sync? And is this real time? Perhaps you can answer this one, Anna.
There we use the data director. The data director is a tool which replicates data from one database to another. It is actually the same tool as our other product, LS-NAV, uses. And is therefore, big and robust and has been proved all over the world to work. Is it in real time? Well, it does run on a schedule, but you can set the schedule to be every minute, and it's replicating only changed data, for an example, in such a setup. So it can be almost real time, if we say it like that. We also have the site service, which is a central service which takes care of the data that has to be kept centrally, such as the gift cards and the credit memos and the customer creation and things like that, which are done on the POS, created on the POS, but kept centrally.
Okay, then we have a question on pricing. That's important always. What is your end user license price structure for LS1 standard for POS and back office? So the standard pricing for LS1 is $995 for the POS and $495 for the back office. And you as a partner, as a standard partner, that's sort of the entry level as a partner, get 30% on top of that. And depending on sales, other discount structures apply. Okay, so Damien asked a question. RMS currently has a license model which is per POS pricing and manager is free. So you can have many managers that are charged per POS for licenses. Can you advise what LS Retail work?
The licenses in LS1 are per installation. So you have one license per POS, which you have to buy. And then we have one license per site manager setup. So it's per machine, not per user or anything like that. So we do sell both licenses for each POS installation and each site manager installation.
Okay, and yes, of course, you can have endless users, so we don't license per user, but we license per installation of the point of sale and the site manager. And depending on sort of the complexity that you want to build up your headquarter or store level, you could theoretically have one site manager supporting all your point of sale solution. So basically buy one license for site manager. But then all the prices and data, all the replication of data will be from a single point. This is a question that we get quite often. Is the customer loyalty feature built into the product?
Yes, we do have customer loyalty, and it is you have loyalty schemes. So you set up a scheme which are the rules on how you collect points. So you can get different amount of points per item, purchase item in different categories or retail groups and things like that. And how you can use your point also, it's included in this scheme. And you can have different schemes, so you have gold members and silver members and things like that. And each customer can have more than one loyalty card connected to their name.
Okay. The question is, how far out on the roadmap are you with the mobile integration? So actually, our LS Omni team has already developed the mobile POS client part, the loyalty part, and the inventory part. What is required from our side is to provide a POS engine that is stateless. So this is is a small piece that we have to develop from our side, and then we can use all the facilities and use the client that has already been developed. In terms of timelines, we believe that the mobile pass will be available by the beginning of New Year. So within the next 3 months, hopefully. So the question is, I can't find the RMS data migration tool on the partner portal. That will be available shortly, but just contact me and I will make sure that you get hold of that. So does LS1 run on Windows 10 and SQ Server 2014?
Yes, that's the way I am running it on my machine. It does.
Yeah, and we support from Windows 7 onwards, right?
Onwards, yes.
That's right.
From 2016 release.
So here's a question a little bit on data and data replication. Does each store have its own database, and is HQ a separate module?
This depends on your setup, of course. So each store can have its own database, and the headquarters, its own, and then you replicate the data between there. But all this depends on where the work is done. So before designing a company infrastructure, you need to decide on where is the inventory done, where are the item prices set, and so on. If that's all done at the head office level, maybe the head office is enough, and pushing the data down to the POSs. It depends on your structure, basically. But we accommodate any structure where you're pulling your data up and down.
Yeah, it just depends where you want to keep your reporting levels. So do you have any US case studies? Oh yes, we do have a lot. And I think, George, this is a question by you. Perhaps maybe just drop me an email. I think what I should do is put you in touch with our regional director, Runar, in the US, and we can walk you through some of those case studies specifically. But yes, I mean, we've been operating for quite many years. And then 2 more questions, or actually 1 more. Can the site manager run as a remote app terminal services? Well, the site manager always connects to a database somewhere. So you just need a local instance of the site manager run on your computer, but the database doesn't need to be on your computer. You can just connect to the database in any location, so to speak. And can it run as a terminal service? Yes.
I think so.
So, but this is a question from Will, and Will, perhaps we should just go through your exact scenario and see if we can support that, but I'm pretty sure that that will not be a problem. Well, thank you, everybody. I think we've come to the end of our questions. We actually managed to take all the questions, and I appreciate that you all sat in until the end. After this presentation is finished, we'll send you a link to a recorded version of this, and we hope that you will get in touch with us, and hopefully we can move to the next step in you trying out our product and hopefully becoming a partner. Thank you, everybody, and good night and good morning.
Thank you.